Okay, ladies and gents, what we are going to do is we're first going to read a narrative written by the man Frederick Douglass from yesterday. I want you to please grab a highlighter. There's a lot of chatter. All I ask you to grab a highlighter. Okay, now the information that you collected on Frederick Douglass yesterday, it was pretty vague. We know that he was a slave that became free. We know that he was an educated man, which was a rarity for the time. We're going to be reading a part of his autobiography. What's an autobiography? Ariana, what's an autobiography?
Autobiography is a biography about someone who wrote it.
An autobiography is a piece of work about someone written about that person. So if you wrote a story about your life, you are making an autobiography. So Frederick Douglass, his autobiography, you've got to recall, this is an educated African-American man during the time of slavery, very rare. So we're going to read some information about him, and we're going to answer some key ideas and details. The reason why I wanted you to take out your highlighters for the following. I want you to highlight textual evidence, just like you did yesterday, about Douglass being heroic or showing those traits of heroism. So again, you are highlighting any textual evidence in this passage that shows Frederick Douglass to be a hero or to have traits of heroism. Any questions on what you're doing right now? All right, let's go ahead and start reading, and do not forget, you are highlighting textual evidence about Frederick Douglass being a hero or anything that shows traits of heroism. Okay, we're going to stay on this page because we've got a kid cue that we need to answer before we keep reading. So I'm going to erase some stuff here so I've got room to write. This kid cue, we're going to go ahead and call number 4. This is our 4th one that we're answering. Make it tinier. We can write some information above and write some information below. I want someone to go ahead and read that kid cue for us, that 4th one. Hey, Mercedes, go ahead and read that. Okay, so let's say we're going to designate the top portion of the My Notes column to his ideas of freedom, and we're going to designate the bottom portion of the My Notes column to Douglass's feelings of capture. So emotionally speaking, maybe it was written directly in the article, maybe not, it was implied. What were Douglass's emotions immediately when he escaped? What did this man feel immediately? I'm free. What was his emotion? Marquise, what was his emotion? Let's take Kathy and take it further. Okay? He was enthusiastic. So we're going to go ahead and write that term down. That was his mood at the point. He was extremely enthusiastic. And with that enthusiasm, he related himself to someone else. So if we look in the passage in the second big paragraph, when he says that he has the highest excitement, the highest enthusiasm, he compares himself to someone else. Right after that statement, who does he compare himself to? Or what experience does he compare himself to? So right after what I read in red, we're just looking right below. How did he equate his position? Ariana? So he's kind of saying he was saved. And I'll read that aloud to you so I can help you out there. He equates his position to A person that was out at sea. You can say a ship hand. Someone who was out at sea and then they were attacked by a pirate ship, but someone saved them from being in that particular position. But Douglas didn't have these feelings for very long. He wasn't excited forever. It was pretty quick that his excitement was gone. So what were his feelings about capture? He wasn't excited for it forever. What was his emotion after he realized, I just escaped, but people can come get me still? What was his emotion, Ava? Bummed? Can you take it further than bummed? Think about that tone and mood wheel that you guys have. His biggest fear, aside from being bummed out, aside from being frightened to death, he was unbelievably lonely. He had no one he could speak with. How did he equate his position at this point? So I kind of feel like this person right now. So when he was excited, he felt like, hey, I've been saved. As if I was almost captured by pirates, but I made it out. So what did he say at this point, in this terms of loneliness? What did he equate? What did he equal his position to? Well, I felt like this person at this point. What did you find, monkeys? Yes, absolutely. I escaped a den of lions. I made it out. Absolutely got that. All right, let's go ahead and turn the page and finish up our reading of this autobiography. All right, we've got two more kid keys that we need to answer about this particular piece. So we've got number 5 and number 6. We're going to focus on number 5. If we have time, we'll come back to number 6. So can you read number 5 for us, please, Jonathan? All right, how did he live his life? So after he was free, after Douglas was free, did he sit down and do nothing and stay in hiding? No, he didn't. He did not do that. What did he start doing then? He didn't hide forever. Eventually he came out, and Elijah, I heard you say something. What did he start doing? Speaking. Where was he speaking at? Jonathan, where was he speaking at? One more time? Conventions. He was speaking at conventions. And who or what were these conventions about? What was the concept that was being discussed at these conventions, Mateo? Perhaps the rights of colored people. It was called something a little bit different, though. It was the anti-something. Anti-slavery, absolutely. So why would speaking at a convention maybe be heroic? Why could speaking at a convention be considered heroic?
Because he can make changes and bring up ideas.
Hey, bringing up new ideas and changes. In terms of, oh goodness, in terms of speaking for others, changes and ideas. Outside of being a speaker for the anti-slavery conventions, he was a black man speaking in front of an entire white audience. That takes some bravery there. We could say he was heroic for that. Did he ever, at any point in the beginning of this narrative piece, say, there's no way I can escape? Forget it, I'm going to stay a slave. Did he ever say that?
No.
So did he give up on the idea of becoming a free man? No, he didn't. So how is that heroic? Not giving up on something. How is not giving up on a challenge heroic? How is not giving up on a challenge heroic, Ariana? He keeps trying. He keeps going. That's an excellent quality of a hero. Okay, What we need to do now is we need to actually go back to the poem called Frederick Douglass. So go ahead and turn the page. And now we're going to look at the poem titled Frederick Douglass.